Brothers say it's fine, friends say it's good. Everybody says it's just like Robin Hood. I move like a grand, talk like a man, sing like a bee, and babe, I'm gonna be your man. And it's plain to see you were meant for me, and I'm your talk that's gonna set you with war. Hi guys, this is how to play 20th Century Boy by T-Rex. This is part of my course showing you 10 songs that use notes from your minor pentatonic scale. The E minor pentatonic scale at open position, which is this set of notes. And this is one of 10 songs that showcase riffs that use this scale, or notes from this scale. This song only uses the first 2 notes of this scale, but it really makes them sound cool. We've got the open E string, and then ideally your middle finger at 3rd fret on that thickest E string as well as your second note, because we were keeping consistent fingering. We go open to middle, open, first as we're walking through this set of notes. And it's just those 2 that we're going to alternate. We're going to go from open, we're going to go open again, and from then it alternates, I should say. So we've got the first note twice, open, open, 3rd open, and we want to see this riff in 2 halves is the best way to get it, because the notes aren't difficult, it's the order, it's the feel of it, and the timing. So we're going to go open, open, 3rd open. Just let me demo a couple of times. It's the first half of our riff. 2 a count in, 2, 3, 4, open, open, 3rd open. 2, 3, 4, open, open, 3rd open. 1, 2, last time, open, open, 3rd open. And then the second half of the riff just keeps alternating exactly the same. 3, open, 3, open. So starting from middle finger at 3rd fret, 3, open, 3, open. If you'd like the tab for this lesson, it's on my website. You want to click the link in the top corner or in the description. It will show you this written down so you can follow the numbers on your chord sheet and tab sheet. But let's just look at that second half a couple more times. 3, open, 3, open. Along to me. 2, 3, 4. 3, open, 3, open. The 3 is referring to 3rd fret. Final time. 3, 4. 3, open, 3, open. With the first half as well. Open, open, 3, open. And then the whole thing. And with this riff in particular, there's more than any of the others in this course, you need to be thinking, right, there's 2 pitches here, there's 2 notes, there's the lower one and a higher one. How does the riff go, and is it going to the lower pitch or the higher pitch when it changes? Open, open, 3, open, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Apart from the first one, it just alternates. But think about those 2 different pitches, those 2 different notes in your mind, and try and pitch which one would come next. Because so many people get this riff so instinctively, and some people really struggle with it. And that's the difference between kind of just getting it and being able to play it, and maybe not quite, it never quite sounding right. So let's just analyze it from that point of view as well. If we try and put the whole thing together. First half. And then just keep alternating. Open, open, 3, open, 3, open, 3, open. As an added bonus to playing this riff with your middle finger rather than any of your other fingers, we can then play an E power chord to beef up the first chord or the first note that we play, rather than just. So this is putting my first finger at the 5th string, 2nd fret, making an E power chord or an E5 chord. And this really makes it sound chunky for that. Certainly for those first two chords of the song. The first 2 sounds you'll hear are just that E power chord. You know, ow! And then it kind of kicks in. So for the first note of the chord, just for the first one, play that E power chord and it would sound like this. Makes it sound an awful lot chunkier. And that's our riff. Just as an extra level of content, you can do that first E power chord with a down, up, down. Down pick, up pick, down pick on just the thicker 2 strings. Down, up, down. But this wants to sound like down, up, down. Really small motion. Keep your wrist nice and close to the guitar at this part of the guitar on the body itself. And it should sound really cool. Just to show you the difference. Gives it a bit of swagger, which is always really cool. So that riff happens 4 times, as we've just done. And then we go down to an A power chord, which is just moving your first finger down 1 string. So we're on string 4, or the D string. Yes, that was my phone going off. It'd been my mum texting me. We're on the 4th string at 2nd fret. We're playing the open A string, string 5 and string 4 together with your picking hand. No others. You want to play this on 8th strumming. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Everything on a downstroke. And if you can, palm mute it slightly as well, which is having the outside of your hand or your palm touching the bridge of the guitar, which is the metal part or the part where your strings meet the guitar, your right hand side of the guitar neck, over this side. It sounds like Chugs is the nickname for it. And that's again for 4 bars, so the count would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4. And because we're only doing really small movements with your hand, that's how you get your speed. If that's something that you're struggling to do at the moment, very small movements. We're only hitting 2 strings, and when we hit 2 strings, it's kind of the same motion as if we're just hitting 1 string. So if that's something that you kind of struggle with, you're probably just covering too much space. Your hand's moving too big. Move it smaller, you can move it faster. This covers the every time you're singing. Friends say it's fine, friends say it's good, everybody says it's just like Robin Hood. Then we go back to the riff, and it's only a small motion between your first finger being on 4th string and then to the 5th to go from this to your riff. So we have the riff 4 times, we have 4 bars of the A power chord, and then we go back to the riff just twice. Again to the verse. I move by the wind, taught by the man. 3, 4, and then back to the riff twice. And then we're on to kind of the chorusy section, where we're going to go for an A power chord, same method of playing again, but only for 1 bar. 2 and 3 and 4 and then a trickier chord, we're going to go for a B power chord, which is at the 2nd fret. And this power chord shape, if you're unsure how to play power chords, you want to check out this video showing you how to play power chords. 2nd fret on the 5th string, so this is a B root note. And then we make our power chord shape. Same as always, it's only for 1 bar. And it's plain to see you were made for me. And then we go back to the E power chord, and I'm your toy, your 20th century boy. And then the whole cycle basically repeats again from the start. So we got those different sections working from the song, but the main thing to get is certainly just being able to play this riff. And then add any of the extra content onto that. Again, if you want the chord sheet to this and something to follow, check out my website and you've got everything on there. Just finally, as an added bit of content for this song that's very applicable to your pentatonic scale, we're going to have a close-up on the riff that finishes that sequence that we've just done. 20th century toy, I want to be your boy. We're going to play that on guitar using the same scale, E minor pentatonic, but 12 frets up, which is really going to be covered more in depth in my next series of videos. We're really covering the open strings here, but I'm also dipping into how you would then use the 12th fret version of this same scale. So let's go in for a close-up with that now. Okay guys, here we are at 12th fret position of your E minor pentatonic scale. I've got my first finger at the double dots on our guitar, and we walk up our minor pentatonic scale until we get to the 6th note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that is an E note. It's the circled one on the diagram. And this is where we start our little riff, which goes 20th century toy, I wanna be your boy. 20th century toy, I wanna be your boy. So our riff starts with our third finger on the note that I've just shown, and we play that 1, 2, 3, 20th cent, then our first finger twice, 3, and then back for toy. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. On the 4th string, which is the D string, and if you're on an electric guitar, though this does work on acoustic, that's the string the last string that's wound. All the others are like cheese wire. And the final part of the riff, so after 20th century toy, I wanna be your boy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I wanna be on the E, your on the 3rd string, the G note, which is a string down, the G string as well, and then back to the 12th fret. I wanna be your toy. From the top, 20th century toy, I wanna be your boy. To a really slow count. Together, 2, 3, 4. 20th century toy, I wanna be your boy. Again, 2, 3, 4. No phrasing required or needed at all. Just play it absolutely straight. For anyone that's still having trouble with the open riff, here's our E power chord and the riff itself. A couple of mutes are helpful with the riff as well. Mute after the first one, and a mute there after the first half of the riff. So one mute with the outside of your hand, totally deadening all the sound, and then another one here. Without the muting, it will sound like this. With the muting, dead slow. Really adds something. And finally, one other bit of content to add to this riff is the open string bending down this note ever so slightly. we're not bending it to another note. Everyone, when the first time they attempt this, always goes way too far. Go off the sound of it. Very gentle, nowhere near down to the next string, just that amount. Again, we're adding a bit of feel, a bit of swagger to our playing. So that's how to play 20th Century Boy. Please subscribe if you've enjoyed this video and learned something from it. Do check out the other songs in this series of 10 songs showing you how to play this E minor pentatonic scale and giving you 10 songs that you can do it with. Check out the website, andyguitar.co.uk. Who am I kidding? I'm sure I'll see you again. Bye now.